dandy and dispatch. We'll undertake to marry any two of you we catch.
Shall they undertake to marry any two of them they catch?
Are you sleeping? Can you see me?
Dark and keeping, dark and dreamy.
If you're blinded, truly say so.
All right-minded players play so.
Compensated, they are cheating, surely they deserve it. They think it's to root is made, it's marking conduct such is truly shocking.
You can smile, shut your shade. You can smile, shut your shade. You can find your shade. You can see, so don't tell me so. You can see, so don't tell me so. That will do now, let it be so. That will do now, let it be so.
My papa, he keeps 3 horses, black and white and dapple racers. Turn 3 times and take your courses. Catch whichever girl you racer.
My papa, he keeps 3 horses, black and white and dapple racer. Turn 3 times and take your courses. Catch whichever girl you may, sir. My papa, he keeps 3 horses, black and white and dapple racer.
I've at length achieved a capture. This is Tessa. Rapture, rapture. For me, Jonathan has granted. Just the very girl I wanted.
Just the very girl he wanted.
If you'd rather change,
My goodness, this indeed is simple rudeness.
the preference, whatever.
Listen to him. Well, I never. Thank you, gallant Gondoliers, innocent and full of pleasure. It is scarcely necessary to express the pleasure. Each of us to prove a treasure. Come to gallant Gondoliers, gladly will devote our leisure. Gallant Gondoliers,
I can give you his address. In the entire annals of our history, there is absolutely no circumstance so entirely free of any manner of any doubt whatever. Listen, and I'll tell you all about it. I stole the prince and I brought him here and left him gaily prattling with a highly respectable gondolier who promised the royal babe to rear and teach him the trade of a time or near with his own beloved bratling. Both of the babes were strong and stout and considering all things clever. Of that there is no manner of doubt, no probable possible shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever.
No possible doubt whatever.
But owing I'm much disposed to fear to his terrible taste for tippling, that highly respectable gondolier could never disclose with a mind sincere which of the two was his offspring dear, and which the royal stripling. Which was which he could never make out, despite his best endeavor. Of that there is no manner of doubt, no probable possible shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever.
No possible doubt whatever.
I spared, and when at the end of the year I sought that infant cherished, that highly respectable gondolier was lying a corpse on his humble bier, I dropped a grand inquisitor's tear. That gondolier had perished. A taste for drink combined with gout had doubled him up forever. Of that there is no manner of doubt, no probable possible shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever.
No possible doubt whatever.
The children followed his old career, that statement can't be parried. Of a highly respectable gondolier, well, one of the two who will soon be here. But which of the two it is not quite clear is the royal babe you married. Search in and out and round about, and you'll discover never a tale so free from every doubt, or probable possible shadow of doubt, or possible doubt whatever.
A tale so free from every doubt, or probable possible shadow of doubt, or possible doubt whatever.
Do you mean to say?
Mary, 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 Mary,
Mary, oh, my ear is merry, merry.
And now our lives are going to begin in real earnest. What's a bachelor? He's a golem. He can't be said to live, he exists.
What a delightful institution marriage is. Why have we wasted all this time? Keep flying we
Sing as
one indeed,
vigil as I
and I'm a
king to my
kingdom I
bid you all I'm a
where you
jack to
pavilions and
palaces but you'll
finally
respect your
Republican
palaces you'll
finally
respect your
Republican
palaces.
as they know we object to pavilions and palaces, how can they respect our Republican palaces?
For everyone who feels inclined, some course we undertake to find congenial with his friend of mind, and all shall equal be.
The Chancellor in his peruke, the Earl, the Marquis, and the Duke, the groom, the butler, and the cook, they all shall equal be.
The aristocrat who begs biscuits, the aristocrat who enters shoots, the aristocrat who cleans and hoots, they all shall equal be.
The noble lord who rules the state, the noble lord who cleans the plate,
The noble lord who scrubs the grey, they all shall equal be.
the Lord High Bishop orthodox, the Lord High Coachman on the box.
The Lord High Vagabond in the swords, they all shall equal be.
For everyone who feels inclined, some post we undertake to find, congenial with his frame of mind, congenial with his frame of mind, and all shall equal be. Sing high, sing ho, wherever they go. Sing high, sing ho, wherever they go. Wherever they go, wherever they go, they all shall equal be.
Sing high, sing low, wherever they go. Sing high, sing low, wherever they go. Wherever they go, wherever they go, they all shall equal be.
Behind the monk without the juice, the kind, the bun, the hand, the quick, behind the crowds who begs the good, behind the man who cleans the book, the noble lord who rules the state, the noble lord who scrubs the gate, the noble nation, all the dogs, the right.
For everyone who feels inclined, suppose they undertake to find congenial with his frame of mind, congenial with his frame of mind, and all shall equal be. Wherever king, whichever you may be, to you we sing, but do not bend the knee. One, two, three, ho! 1, 2, 3, ho! 1, 2, 3, ho! With the wind. When winds are blowing, the ship will going, when the young will stand still. And away we go to an island fair. We know not where, we know not share. Wherever that island may be.
This is it.
And they all said, done. And we asked old A.B. Nathan to lend us his boat. And he said done. And so we crossed the sea and, thank goodness, that's done. And so here we are. And I'm done.
And now, which of you is king?
And which of us is queen?
That we shan't know till nurse turns up. But never mind that now. The question is, how shall we celebrate the beginning of our honeymoon? Gentlemen, will you allow us to offer you a magnificent banquet?
You betcha.
Thanks very much. And ladies, how about a dance?
A banquet and a dance. It's too much happiness.
Montero, of thunders. Red dances the recklessly light of black flowers. Dances the recklessly light of black flowers of dances.
Kings of occupied, we left to act in perfect unity, whom you can order right and left with absolute impunity, who put their subjects at their ease by doing all they can to please, and thus to earn their bread and cheese every opportunity, and thus to earn their bread and cheese every opportunity. Ah, ah, we act in perfect unity. Ah, ah, we act in perfect unity. Of happiness, the very thing in Barataria you may see, a monarchy that's tempered with republican equality. Republican equality, tempered with equality.
Gentlemen, we are much obliged to you for your expressions of satisfaction and good feelings. I say, we are much obliged to you for your expressions of satisfaction and good feelings.
Shamanu!
We are delighted at any time to fall in with sentiments so charmingly expressed.
At the same time, there is just one little grievance we should like to ventilate.
Say what?
Don't be alarmed, it's not serious. It is agreed that until we decide which one of us is the actual king, we are to act as one person.
Exactly.
Now, although we act as one person, in point of fact, we are two persons.
I don't think we can go into that. It is a legal fiction, and legal fictions are stranger than illegal fictions. Situated as we are, We can't recognize two independent responsibilities.
No, but you can recognize two independent appetites. It's all well and good to say we act as one person, but when you provide us with one cup of tea for the two of us, I should call that a legal fiction carried too far.
It's rather a nice point. I don't like to express an opinion offhand. Suppose we reserve it for argument before the full court.
Yes, but what are we to do in the meantime?
We want our tea.
Tea for two? Then we should ask the new minister for an interim order for double rations. In the event of an adverse decision, you can nosh now and pay later.
That, I think, will meet the case. But you must work hard. Stick to it. Nothing like work.
Oh, certainly. We quite understand that a man who holds the magnificent position of king should do something to justify it. We are called Your Majesty. We are allowed to buy ourselves magnificent clothes. Our subjects frequently nod to us in the street. The sentries always return our salutes. And we have the inestimable privilege of heading the subscription lists to all the principal charities. In return for these advantages, the least we can do is make ourselves useful about the palace. Rising early in the morning, we proceed to light the fire. Then our Majesty, adorning in its workaday attire, we embark without delay on the duties of the day. First we polish off some batches of political dispatches and foreign politicians circumvent. Then if business isn't heavy, we may hold a royal levy or ratify some acts of parliament. Then we probably review the household troops with the usual shallow humps and shallow hoops, or receive with ceremonial and state an interesting Eastern potentate. After that we generally go and dress our private valley. It's a rather nervous duty, he's a touchy little man. Writes some letters literary for our private secretary. He is shaky in his spelling, so we help him if we can. Then in view of cravings inner, we go down and order dinner. Then we polish the regalia and the coronation plate. Spend an hour in titivating all our gentlemen in waiting, or we run on little errands for the ministers of state. Oh, philosophers may sing of the troubles of a king, yet the duties are delightful and the privilege is great. But the privilege and pleasure that we treasure beyond measure is to run on little errands for the ministers of state.
Oh, philosophers may sing of the troubles of the king, yet the duties are delightful and the privilege is great. And the privilege and pleasure that we treasure beyond measure is to run on little errands for the ministers of state.
After luncheon, making merry on a bun and glass of sherry, if we've nothing in particular to do. We may make a proclamation or receive a deputation, then we possibly create a peer or two. Then we help a fellow creature on his path, with the garter or the thistle or the bath. Or we dress and toddle off in semi-state to a festival, a function, or a fete. Then we go and stand at sentry at the palace, private entry, marching hither, marching thither, up and down and to and fro, while the warrior on duty goes in search of mere beauty, and it generally happens that he hasn't far to go. He relieves us if he's able, just in time to lay the table. Then we dine and serve the coffee, and at 12:30 or 1, with a pleasure that's emphatic, we retire to our attic with the gratifying feeling that our duty has been done. No! Philosophers may sing of the troubles of a king, but of pleasures there are many, and of worries there are none. And the culminating pleasure that we treasure beyond measure is the gratifying feeling that our duty has been done.
Oh, philosophers may sing of the troubles of the king, but the pleasures there are many, and the worries there are none. And the culminating pleasure that we treasure beyond measure is the gratifying feeling that our duty has been done.
Yet it really is a very pleasant existence. They're all so kind and considerate. You don't find them wanting to do this or wanting to do that or saying, it's my turn now. No, they let us have all the fun to ourselves and never seem to grudge it.
It makes one feel quite selfish. It almost seems like taking advantage of their good nature.
How kind they were about the double rations.
Most considerate. There's only one thing wanting to make us thoroughly comfortable.
And that is?
The dear little wives we left behind us 3 months ago.
Yes, it is dull without female society. We can do without everything else, but we can't do without that.
And if we have that imperfection, we have everything. There's only one recipe for perfect happiness. Take a pair of sparkling eyes, hidden ever and anon, in a merciful kiss. Do not heed my surprise, having passed the Rubicon. Take a pair of rosy lips. Take a figure trimly planned, such as admiration waits. Be particular in this. Take a tender little hand, print with dainty fingers. Press it, a parenthesis. You lucky men, take and keep them if you can. If you can, take all these, you lucky men, take and keep it, lucky men, if you can. Take a pretty miniature fair, hang about with fairy spar. Any sheet upon the spot with the treasures rich and rare, I'm endeavor to define. If whatever after you will ripen at your ease, growing on the sunny side, it is nothing more to give. You are a dainty man to please. If you're not satisfied, take my counsel, happy man, act upon it if you can. If you can, take my counsel, happy men, take upon it, lucky men, if you can. Take my counsel, happy man, take upon it if you can, if you can, if you can, act upon it if you can, happy man, if you can.
that royal license strike you?
Is it difficult or easy?
Do you think your subjects like you?
I am anxious to elicit. Is it plain and easy steering?
Take it all together. Is it better fun than gondoliering? We shall both
Go on requesting till you promise never doubt it. Everything is interesting. Tell us all about it.
They should both go on requesting till you tell us never doubt it. Everything is interesting. Tell us all about it.
Is the populace exacting?
Do they keep you at a distance?
All unaided, are you acting?
Or do they provide assistance?
When you're busy, have you got to get up early in the morning?
If you do what you ought not to, do they give the usual warning?
With the horse do they equip you?
Lots of trumpeting and drumming.
Do the royal tradesmen tip you?
Ain't the livery becoming?
Does your human being inner feed on everything that nice is?
Do the royal wine for dinner, peaches, sugar, plums, and ices?
We shall both go on requesting till you tell us never doubt that everything is interesting. Tell us all about it.
They shall both go on requesting till you tell us never doubt it. Everything is interesting. Tell us all about it.
We shall both go on requesting till you tell us never doubt it. Everything is interesting. Tell us all about it. Everything is interesting. Tell us all about it. Tell us all.
This is indeed a most delightful surprise.
Yes, we thought you'd like it.
Yes.
You see, it was like this. After you left, we felt very dull and mopey, and the days simply crawled by. And you never wrote. So at last I said to Janetta, I can't stand this any longer. Those two poor monarchs haven't got anyone to mend their stockings, or to sew on their buttons, or patch their clothes. At least, I hope they haven't. Let us all pack up a change and go and see how they're getting on. And she said, done. And they all said, done. And we asked old A.B. Nathan to lend us his boat. And he said done. So we crossed the sea. And thank goodness that's done. And now here we are. And I'm done.
And now, which of you is king?
And which of us is queen?
That we shan't know till nurse turns up. But never mind that now. The question is, how shall we celebrate the beginning of our honeymoon? Gentlemen, will you allow us to offer you a magnificent banquet?
Well, that depends on whether you've been after inviting the president of the leprechaun. If you have, then we will.
Thanks very much. And ladies, how about a dance?
A perfect dance. It's too much happiness.
fancy dress ball?
No, just a little family dance, that's all. Sorry you're late.
But I saw cook dancing and a footman.
Yes, that's the Lord High Footman.
And dear me, a common little drummer boy.
No, that's the Lord High drummer boy.
But surely the servants' hall are the place for these gentry.
Servants' hall has been appropriated. It's now called the Royal Apartments and obtainable only by tickets from the Lord Chamberlain's office.
We really must have some place that we can call our own.
I'm afraid I'm not equal to the intellectual pressure of the conversation.
You see, the monarchy has been remodeled on Republican principles.
What?
All departments rank equally, and everybody is at the head of his own department.
I see.
I'm afraid you're annoyed.
No, I won't say that. It's not quite what I
I'm awfully sorry.
So am I.
By the by, can I offer you something after your voyage? A plate of spaghetti and a pita?
Thank you, no, nothing. You see, in every court there are distinctions that must be observed.
There are? Are there?
Of course. For instance, you wouldn't have a Lord High Chancellor playing a leapfrog with his own cook.
Perché? Why not?
Why not? Because a Lord High Chancellor is a personage of very great dignity, who should never under any circumstance place himself in the position of being told to tuck in his tuppenny, except by noblemen of his own rank. The Lord High Archbishop might tell a Lord High Chancellor to tuck in his tuppenny, but not a cook, gentlemen, certainly not a cook.
Not even a Lord High cook?
My good friend, that is a rank not recognized in the Lord Chamberlain's office. No, it won't do. I'll give you an instance in which the experiment was tried. There lived a king, as I've been told, in the wonder-working days of old, whose heart was twice as good as gold, and 20 times as mellow. Good temper triumphed in his face, and in his heart he found a place for all the erring human race, and every wretched fellow. When he had Rhenish wine to drink, it made him very sad to think that some at junket or at cheek must be content with toddy.
With toddy, must be content with toddy.
He wished all men as rich as he, and he was rich as rich can be. So to the top of every tree, from home in everybody.
Now there's a kind of king for me, he wished all men as rich as he. So to the top of every tree, from home in everybody.
Lord Chancellors were cheap as sprats, and bishops in their shovel hats were plentiful as tabby cats, in point of fact too many. Ambassadors cropped up like 8 prime ministers, and such as they grew like asparagus in May, and the dukes were 3 a penny. On every side field marshals gleamed, for there were Lord Lieutenants teamed with admirals in the ocean steam all round his white dominions.
With admirals around his white dominions.
And party leaders you might meet in 2s and 3s on every street, maintaining with no little heat their various opinions.
Now that's a sight you couldn't beat, 2 party leaders in its street, maintaining with no little heat their various opinions.
That king, although no one denies, his heart was of that marble size, yet he'd have acted otherwise if he had been a tutor. The end is easily foretold when every blessed thing you hold is made of silver or of gold. You long for a simple pewter. If you have nothing else to wear but cloth of gold and satins rare, for cloth of gold you cease to care. Up goes the price of shoddy.
Of shoddy, up goes the price of shoddy.
In a short, whoever you may be, to this conclusion you'll agree. When everyone is somebody, then no one's anybody.
Now that's as plain can be. To this conclusion we agree. When
announce His Grace the Duke of Plaza Toro, Her Grace the Duchess, and their beautiful daughter Casilda. I said, their beautiful daughter Casilda.
Shamano.
Have arrived in Barataria and will be here in half an hour.
The Duke and Duchess are nothing to us.
But the daughter, the beautiful daughter. Oh, you're a lucky dog. Oh, one of you.
I think you're a very incomprehensible old gentleman.
Not a bit of it. Let me explain. When you, whichever you are, were a little baby many years ago, you, whichever you are, were married to a little girl who has grown up to be the most beautiful young lady in Spain. That young lady will be here to claim you, whichever you are, and I congratulate that one, whoever it is, from the bottom of my heart.
Mamma mia! Married when a baby.
But we were married 3 months ago.
One of you, only one. The other is an unintentional bigamy. Who are these young persons?
Who are we? Why, they're wives, of course.
Wives? Dear me, this is very awkward. Dear, dear, what will Her Majesty say?
Do you mean to tell us that one of these monarchs was already married?
And that neither of us will be queen?
That is the idea that I had intended to convey.
Tessa, my dear child.
Oh, get away! Perhaps it's you.
Giannetta, my poor woman.
Oh, no! Who knows whose husband you are?
And pray, why didn't you tell us about all this before they left Venice?
Because if I had, no earthly temptation could have persuaded these two gentlemen to leave two such utterly fascinating and irresistible little ladies.
Oh, there's something in that.
However, you will not be kept long in suspense. The nurse to whom the prince was entrusted is at present waiting for me to interview her in the torture chamber.
That poor old girl. Hadn't you better go and put her out of her suspense?
Oh, it's all right. She's okay. She has Laisha and Monitie. However, I will interrogate her. And may I suggest, in the meantime, the absolute propriety of you regarding yourselves as a single young lady. Good afternoon.
Well, here's a pleasant state of things.
Delightful. One of us is married to 2 young ladies, and nobody knows which. And the other is married to 1 young lady whom nobody can identify.
And one of us is married to one of you, and the other is married to nobody.
But which of you is married to which of us? And what will become of the other?
Look, it's really quite simple. You see, 2 husbands have managed to acquire 3 wives. 3 wives, 2 husbands, that makes 2/3 of a husband for each wife.
Oh, Mount Vesuvius, here we are in arithmetic. My good sir, one can't marry a vulgar fraction.
You've no right to call me a vulgar fraction.
We are getting rather mixed. The situation is entangled. Let's try and comb it out.
In a contemplative fashion and a tranquil frame of mind, free from every kind of passion, some solution let us find. Let us grasp the situation, solve the complicated plot. Quiet tongue, deliberation, disentangles every knot.
I know doubt is crafty when in that concoction lies the plot. He is rather than prepared, still distinctly he's a dust.
Why, you think I know it, don't it, Michael, married, that is clear. Stick to the ship, you
Oh, Giannetta, I was mad as I can prove it here at sight. For her charms are overrated, that's here, oh, she's rather right. voice.
I to Chester willy-nilly, all at once a victim fell. She is what is called a silly, still she answers pretty well. She's a silly, still she answers pretty well.
Now let me, baby, someone marry us that please.
And if I can around the church, set her away with a flea for you.
That young lady married to receive her country views.
If I overtake her, I want her maker to shake in her aristocratical
She's married, not just send me you, and he will have to part.
If I have to do it, I won't shall rue it. I'll teach her to marry the man of my heart. If she married Mr. Marshall, you're a spinster.
No matter if I can get at her, I doubt if her mother will know her again.
If I have to do
No
it,
matter if I can get at her,
I will marry the man of my heart.
no matter
Quiet, calm deliberation, tears and tangles every knot. Duke of Pomp and Duke of France. And now these comers, oh ye gentle comers, comes Baratelia's high-born bride, ye sound his timbrels twang. She comes to claim the royal hand. Proclaim their graces, oh ye double faces, of the king who rules this goodly land. Ye pagan masters land. She comes to claim the royal hand. Ye pagan masters land.
This polite attention touches heart of Duke
and heart of Duchess, who resign their pet.
with profound regret.
She, a beauty, was a model.
When a tiny tiddle-toddle, but at 21,
She's excelled by none.
at 21,
She's excelled by none. At 21.
she's excelled by
She
none.
comes to claim the royal hand. From men their graces, oh ye double graces, from the king who rules this goodly land, ye pagan masters hang.
Be good enough to inform His Majesty that His Grace the Duke of Plaza Toro Limited has arrived and begs,
Desires, demands.
demands an audience. Yes, and now, my love, prepare to receive the husband to whom you were united under such interesting and romantic circumstances.
But which is it? There are two of them.
It is true that at present His Majesty is a double gentleman. But as soon as the circumstances of his marriage are ascertained, he will ipso facto boil down to a single gentleman, thus presenting a unique example of an individual who becomes a single man and a married man by the same operation.
I have known instances in which the characteristics of both conditions existed concurrently in the same individual.
Oh, he couldn't have been a Plaza Toro.
Oh, couldn't he, though? Well, whatever happens, I shall, of course, be a dutiful wife. But I can never love my husband.
Oh, I don't know about that. It's extraordinary what unprepossessing people one can love if one gives one's mind to it.
I loved your father.
That remark is a little hard, I think. Rather cruel, perhaps. Somewhat uncalled for, I venture to believe.
It was very difficult, my dear, but I said to myself, that man is a duke, and I will love him. Several of my relations bet me I couldn't, but I did, desperately. On the day when I was wedded to your admirable sire, I acknowledged that I dreaded an explosion of his ire. I was overcome with panic, for his temper was volcanic, and I didn't dare revolt, for I feared a thunderbolt. I was always very wary, for his fury was ecstatic, his refined vocabulary most unpleasantly emphatic. To the thunder and the Tartar, I knocked under like a martyr. Oh, when intently he was fuming, I was gently unassuming. Oh, when reviling me completely, I was smiling very sweetly. I was smiling very sweetly, very sweetly, giving him the very best and getting back the very worst. That is how I tried to tame your great progenitor at first, giving him the very best and getting back the very worst. That is how I tried to tame your great progenitor at first. But I found that a reliance on my threatening appearance, and a resolute defiance of parental interference, and a gentle intimation of my firm determination to see what I could do, to be wife and husband too, was the only thing required for to make his temper supple, and you couldn't have desired a more reciprocating couple, ever willing to be wooing. We were billing, we were cooing. When I merely from him parted, we were nearly broken hearted. When in sequel reunited, we were equally delighted. We were equally delighted. So with double-shotted guns and banners nailed into the mast, I tamed your insignificant progenitor at last. So with double-shotted guns and colors nailed into the mast, I tamed your insignificant progenitor.
He will repudiate the contract altogether.
Oh, their majesties. Your majesty.
The Duke of Plateau, I believe.
The same. Allow me to present...
The young lady, one of us is married.
Gentlemen, I'm the most obedient servant of one of you. Oh, Louis!
I am now about to dress the gentleman whom my daughter married. The other gentleman may allow his attention to wander if he likes, for what I am about to say does not concern him. Sir, in this young lady you will find a combination of excellences for which you would search in vain in any young lady who had not the good fortune to be my daughter. It is true that there is some little doubt as to which of you is the gentleman I am addressing, and which of you is the gentleman who is allowing his attention to wander. But when that doubt is solved, I shall say, still addressing the attentive gentleman, take her, and may she make you happier than her mother has made me.
Sir!
If possible. And now, there is a little matter to which I think I am entitled to take exception. I come here in state, with Her Grace the Duchess, and Her Majesty, my daughter, and what do I find? Do I find, for instance, a guard of honor to receive me? No.
No.
The town illuminated? No.
No.
Refreshment provided? No.
No.
Triumphal arches erected?
No. No.
The bells set ringing?
No.
Yes. One of them, the visitors. And I rang it myself. It is not enough. It is not enough.
But upon my honor, sir, I was brought up in a gondola, and my ideas of politeness are confined to taking my cap off to my passengers after they tip me.
That's all very well in its way, but it is not enough.
I'll take anything else off in reason, ma'am.
What a royal salute to my daughter. It costs so little.
Papa, I don't want to salute.
My good sir, as soon as it's determined which one of us is entitled to take that liberty, she shall have as many salutes as she likes.
As for guards of honor and triumphal arches, you don't know our people. They wouldn't stand it.
They're very offhand with us, very offhand indeed.
Oh, but you mustn't allow that. You must keep them in proper discipline. You must impress your court with your importance. You want deportment. Very.
Carriage, we've got a carriage.
Manner. Dignity. You must have a great deal of this sort of thing. Oh, how really important and truly grand you are. And a little of this sort of thing. Any time you're passing, pass. And perhaps just a soupçon of this sort of thing. Oh, hello, you little heartbreaker, you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And so on. It's very useful and most effective. Attend to me. You are a king, and I am a subject. Very good. I am a courtier grave and serious, who is about to kiss your hand. Try to combine a pose imperious with a demeanor nobly bland.
Let us combine a pose imperious with a demeanor nobly bland.
That's if anything too unbending, too aggressively stiff and grand. Now to the other extreme you're tending. Don't be so deucedly condescending.
Now to the other extreme you're tending. Don't be so dreadfully condescending.
A heart of wisdom double dancing, at first if anything to bending, or we go to the other extreme, so profoundly condescending.
Now a gavotte perform sedately, offer your hand with conscious pride. Take an attitude not too stately, still sufficiently dignified.
Now for an attitude not too stately, still sufficiently dignified.
Oncely, twicely, oncely, twicely, how impressively ere you glide. Capital both, you got it nicely. That is the style of thing precisely.
Capital both, you got it nicely. That is the style of thing precisely.
Oh, sweet turn another man's praise. Capital boss, we got it nicely. Supposing he's right in what he says, this is the style of the precisely. This is the style of the
Well, the old birds have gone away and left the young chickens together. That's called tact.
It's very awkward. We really ought to tell her it's not fair to the girl.
Well, then you do it.
I rather not. I'd need your higher over.
Okay. Just, Madame, we, that is, several of us.
Gentlemen, I am bound to listen to you, only it is right to tell you that not knowing I was married in infancy, I am head over heels in love with somebody else.
Our case exactly. We are head over heels in love with somebody else. In point of fact, with our wives.
Your wife? Then you're married. It's not our fault. We knew nothing about it. We were sisters in misfortune. My good girls, I don't blame you. Only before we go any further, we should really arrive at some satisfactory arrangement, or we shall get hopelessly complicated.
Here is a case of precedent that here a king and queen is not. Ever since pleasure's first invented, never was known a case so hard. I may be said to have been bisected by a profound catastrophe.
Through a calamity unexpected, I am divisible into three.
I may be said to have been bisected.
I am divisible into three. Through a calamity, I am divisible into three.
Oh, mother, so how can you call marriage a state of nudity when excellent husbands are bisected twice and divisible into three? Oh, mother, so how can you call marriage a state of unity? Unity. Mother, so how can you call marriage a state of unity? Mother, so how can you call marriage a state of unity?
The loyal lieges gather around. The princess foster mother has been found. She will declare to silver clarion sound the rightful king. Let him forthwith be crowned. She will declare to silver clarion sound.
What news we see this moment mentioned? To us their friend,
His foster mother.
See the king, or this my brother.
Speak, woman, speak. Speak, woman, speak.
The royal prince was by the king entrusted to my phone's care. Ere I grew old and trusted, when traitors came to steal his son reputed, my own small boy I deftly substituted. The villains fell into this trap completely. I hear the prince away, still sleeping sweetly. My golden son with adorable slyness, his name Louis. conflicting, our hearts rejoice and brave, each other contradicting. To those whom we adore, we can be reunited. On one point rather sore, but on the whole, delighted.
When others claim thy dainty hand, I've waited, waited, waited.
As prudence, so I understand, dictated, fated, fated.
Your pure and patient love is now rewarded, rewarded, rewarded.
And where are we on a golden land, and the high-born bride who reigns his hand, the past is dead, and the day your own, the royal blood and the golden throne. Once more, Gondoliers was skillful and wary, great on this very contented are we. From loyalty flying, our Gondoliers flying, and verily crying our premise are we. So move back, Gondoliers was skillful and wary, from this very contented are we. Once more, Gondoliers, 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 contented are we. So good back to church,
just want to introduce our director, Tamara Vardeen Mutal. Thank you.